All right, Evan, let's stop joking around. Let's get to it. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning, Irvin. Good morning, Felipe Lopez. Good morning, everybody. Before we start getting going, let's all get our smile muscles rolling. Get your smile muscles rolling. Everybody go like this, Grandpa. There we go. There we go. You got make height. Some of you guys make ugly faces just normally. You know, yeah, just there we go. Ian, okay. Good. Nicole, come on, don't be so serious. Michelle, guys, it's Twin Tuesday. We are gonna learn, but we are not gonna be all freaking serious Sallies up in here, okay? We don't have fun. So, guys, good morning. I see a lot of new faces. Dude, I see some. Get your body out of the whole thing. Like, I'm getting ready to deliver here, Evan. I'm getting ready to deliver. Okay. Hey, who was at the last Twin Tuesday where it was just Evan, and was it not your favorite Twin Tuesday of all time without you? Guys, don't lie to him. Remember, that's not true love if you're lying to him, okay? So, guys, listen, it's a really great day for us because we get to see so many of you. We've seen some of you develop over the years to be in the top earners in your industry. We've got guys that started with us making $6 grand, Johnny, right? $6 grand a month, and now you did 61 last month. You're growing, you're learning. We've got companies that started out, selling 12 cars a month, and now you're at 250 cars. So there's so many different industries, a lot of people that are just growing and are obsessed. And then there's a lot of new people. We're just starting on the journey of your personal development, your growth. So we are grateful, we are excited, and we have got some life-changing stuff for you guys today. But as always, Evan, what's their responsibility today? Well, as always, it's your responsibility to learn and extract something from us and go apply it. It was my responsibility today to make sure Ian had gum. He did that. He did that. Because just tell me. I swallowed it. Anybody swallow their gum ever? Dude, that's disgusting. I still swallow my gum. I'm like 9 years old. That's like, dude, that's like lazy. I know. I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I just ate it. You're the kind of guy who sticks it. That's why I got bigger muscles than you, because I'm swallowing my gum. You're the kind of guy that sticks it underneath the table or something like that. No, that's Jalen, dude. That is Jalen. You're that kid. Guys, still like a Johnny Baldwin. Look, I want you to write this down, and we're going to get into 6 powerful sales tips that'll help you sell more than you've ever sold before. But before that, we got to talk about a couple of things, Ian. Yeah, and these 2 things, man, these 2 things are absolutely special. And I think that sometimes we forget to talk about these 2 things. So before we even get into the sales tips, some of these things are going to change your freaking life. Before we even get into that, let's get into 2 things that are massively important to your game. So give us your minds for a second, focus on exactly what we're going to tell you, and let's deliver them some fire evidence, some things that they can use to make a shift in their game. I want you to write this. I want you to write this down. Resilience and renewal. Resilience and renewal. Yep. So as we talk about this, I want you to raise your hand if you've ever been through a divorce. I want you to raise your hand if you've ever lost your best customer. I want you to raise your hand if you've ever made a follow-up call and somebody bought a different product. I want you to raise your hand if you've ever lost somebody important to you. I want you to raise your hand if you've ever gone in your life. Yep. I want you to raise your hand if you've been through stuff and you're building the bounce back. See, what Ian and I have learned is one of the most important keys to your life will be your ability to bounce back. So I want you to write this down. Building the bounce back. Building the bounce back. That's good, Evan. Building the bounce back. I'm learning to become a rapper. Yep. That's going to be my second career outside of the Elliott Group. Yep. You can call me Emac Mizzle Mac Measy. That's my name. Don't call him that. That's gonna be the name. Guys, don't call him that. That'll be the name. But listen, everybody starts with this. I want you guys to write this down real quick. Everybody starts with good intention. Number 1, they start with good intention. We're all starting with good intention. We're on our sales careers. We're going. We're entrepreneurs. We start with good intention. And then what, Evan? Well, we get slapped in the face a couple of times. Things happen. So we fail to follow through. We fail to follow through. That's number 2. And then we experience guilt. We start with good intention. We fail to follow through. And then we experience guilt. And then that does what, Evan? It demotivates your momentum. So today we're trying to protect that. But in order to protect it, you have to know it's there. Have you ever guys seen somebody start something, fail to follow through, experience guilt, and then quit and leave the industry? Yep. Many times. There's a lot of us on this call, we've done that same thing. We start with that good intention in an industry. We're like, hey, I can do this, man. I can do this. I got the good intention, but then maybe I fail to follow through on a piece of it. And then I'm like, oh, that's the industry, or that's not me, or I can't do that. And then you start to have some guilt and you spin yourself out. Okay. Yep. Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you. Ian and I were the same freaking way until we started to run through a time cycle. So I want you to understand this. A lot of the times when Ian and I first started selling cars, It was all about outgrind, outwork everybody. And bell to bell to bell to bell, baby. It was open. Who knows what bell to bell is? Open to close. Hey, our hours, they were on the door. They're on the door. They were just open to close, man. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be outgrinding everybody, because what we're going to talk about is then when we opened up the Elliott Group, we got back into this out hustle, outgrind mentality, and we forgot what really got us successful in the car business, which was not only do you have to have the resilience to bounce back, which, by the way, a lot of the times, a lot of people are like, hey, where do I get my resilience? It could be your conditioning. It could be your toughness. It could be negative things that you turned into a positive. It could be just pain. And a lot of those things are the reason why you know how to bounce back. But a lot of the times, people don't have a system for renewal. So I want you to write this down. What's going to be my system for renewal? And then I want you to write down above that, I want you to write down unkillable. 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 Listen, Isaac Frazier, you're unkillable. Bernardo, you're unkillable. You're here today. Daniel, Grandpa, Shane, you're unkillable. Nothing has beat you yet. Nothing has stopped you yet. Guys, no matter what you've been through in your life, you're here today. Daniel Mathis, I don't know what he's doing today, but he looks excited. Everybody should look at him right now. He's unkillable, and he's got a great damn attitude. Dude, he's always DMing me crazy stuff on Instagram. He's always fired up, man. That is a good trait to have. Do you want to be around people like that, Evan? I love to be around people. I see how excited he is. I see how excited Isaac Frazier is, some of you guys. And then some of us, we're still in our head about all the things that we don't have, all the things that, the sales that we haven't made this month. Hey, just get rid of that shit for an hour. Get rid of that shit for an hour, and we're going to teach you how to beat those things for the rest of your life. And it's this system, because when Evan and I wouldn't perform at the highest level, like the peak performance that we wanted to get to be in some of the top salespeople in the world for not a short period of time, like 6 months or 3 months, but for 8.5 years, we had to have a system of renewal. We had to have a system of resilience. And here's what the system is. Evan, let's go through it. Yeah, and so think about all those things that you go through, and then think about when you actually take time to rest. Think about when you actually take time to do a little retreat. Think about when you actually take time to think, when you take time to strategize, when you take time to practice, like get your repetition, and you take time to actually play. So then you can show back up and perform. You see, most people, when it's their day off, they're not figuring out how to renew themselves. They're not figuring out. So what happens to those people, Evan? They burn out. They burn out very quickly. They're not doing anything to contribute back to anybody else a lot of the time too. So they're not finding any purpose in any of the stuff that they have going on in your life. Look, I'm going to give you a powerful tip. Every Sunday, Ian and I would always do the same things. We would find somebody to help out that was less fortunate than us. We would always go to the gym. I mean, that's just always been a part of our life. But we'd always take time to relax and go to church and see our family and see the people that we were spending all of our time away from. Evan, people are like, what's this got to do with sales? It has everything to do with sales, because you don't want to just get lost in the business. You have to be working harder on yourself than you are on the job. And the money is the byproduct of that. So if I show up on a Monday because I'm fired up, because I spent my time renewing, and I knew in my head, I had time to think and strategize, and I came back and I was resilient. And no matter what happened last week, it was my time to shine. I'm fired up, Ian. I filled all the other cups up on a Sunday or whatever my day is. I show up on fire. Everybody always asks us, well, twins, how do you guys manufacture the energy? Dude, it's a skill. We repeat the cycle over and over and over again. I want you guys to write down 3 things that when you rest this next time coming up, and it could be that you're going to grind your ass off today. That's totally cool. That's what you should be doing. But here's what Tim Grover told me. I was on the phone with Tim Grover, and I said, hey, man, what did Jordan and Kobe do better than everybody else? He said, well, everybody else was worried about the grind. Those guys, they valued rest just as much as they valued the grind. Right. And see, so we don't all talk about that, but I am a master at resting. Well, I can sit down and fall asleep in 3 seconds. Don't tell Andy that, but I'll sit down for 3 seconds and I can pass out. So, but how hard are you working when you're working? See, a lot of people think that they're working hard while they're working, when really they're just going through the cycle, the first cycle that we talked about. They start with good intentions, they don't follow through, they feel guilt, and then they're just sitting around not doing something. If you're actually productive in those hours, you should be exhausted, and then you deserve the rest. And then when you get the rest, I want you to think about something while you're getting that rest. Who are you spending that time with? Who is it? What are the 3 most important things that you can spend your time with? Mine right now, my faith. I spend time like going through a sermon. I'm on the way home. I've got an hour drive. I've got a sermon because that's my time to relax my mind. And this is where junior salespeople, like regular salespeople, miss it, because They're going to go into tomorrow not creative, not hungry. They're not going to have a dominant focus. I'm going to have a dominant focus on sales because my mind is relaxed. My mind is rejuvenated. But what's your dominant three? My dominant three, my faith, my family, my fitness. Now, some people throw that around, but they don't really understand that. When you go home, are you actually truly with your family? When you go home, are you doing something maybe that you haven't done in a long time with your family? When you go home, is there something that you're doing that keeps your family feeling that creative hunger from you? Or if you're a young guy in here and you don't have a family yet, like, are you just getting out of work and going home and then you're distracted by all your buddies and so you're just eating a shit sandwich constantly? Guys, as a young person, you don't realize the people that you run with actually change your life for the good and for the bad. And some of you at 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, man, I didn't realize all the losers I was hanging around, I started to become. And then when I met a high-powered group of people, I said, dude, I want to run with those guys. They said, Ian, we won't run with you. You're kind of a loser. And I was like, what? Oh, holy crap. I'm just hanging around my brother. Your brother is cool as shit, man. We'll definitely run with you. No, they definitely didn't say that. They did say that. But what they said is, dude, you got to start working on yourself. And like, we'll be able to tell. And then you can run with us. And then I started running with some more high-powered people. But a lot of times, guys, if you have some turkeys in your life, like everybody knows somebody who drains them. Write that person down. Like, let's put a frame around them. I'm not saying totally cut them off, but I have people in my family that can only get to me at certain times of my life. Like, it's like one time a month. Like, they can only reach out to me, you know? I got a call the other day from somebody that's in my family. I had to miss the call. I had to miss the call because it's part of my rest to not have that shit in my mind. Yeah, I know they're going to say. And so think of this, before we get into these 6 sales tips, it's important that we structure your mind on how we actually do our lives, because I don't want you guys to just think somehow we've created this momentum. Somehow we've manufactured these personalities. Somehow it just came to us. Man, if you would have seen us 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, were we really good sales guys? Yes. But did we lose sight? Sometimes did we get lost in the grind? Were there times where we were, out of balance? And those were the worst times in our life, is when we became out of balance, when we were partying too much, we were drinking too much, when we weren't in balance with the 4 parts of your nature. Yep. The 4 parts of your nature are your mind, your body, and your spirit. If you can't figure out how to keep those in balance, you will never perform at the highest level that you know is inside of you. You can. Now, if you can keep those at level, say those again, Evan. Your mind, your slow learners like Daniel Grandos, and slow learners like Scotty C. For you, our slow learners like Vanessa. Okay, listen. Your 4 parts of your nature: your mind, your body, your spirit. Are you balancing those parts? Because what happens when you're in balance is you will create transformational experiences with your clients. What I mean by that is when you're around them, you're more magnetic. You're more like you have a fire and a frequency let me in there. That you move on. So then what happens is you get more referrals. Yep. People want to be around you. Opportunities start to open up. Don't they just start to come towards your way? Dude, you know what I mean? It's like somebody's begging you to work for them, Ava, right? You're doing all these magnetic things. You're building yourself. And then the owner's just knocking at the door. Good example. She's a great example. She worked on herself. She audited some people out of her life. She really just grew. She focused on herself. She flew down here month after month after month after month. And one of my owners that started with us, I started this meeting saying there's a guy who sold 20 cars, and then now he's at 200, went from a shed to now a $5 million Taj Mahal building. Chris Taylor, her owner, he was beating her door down. He's like, I need you to work here. Because I need you to work here. She was focused on. But listen, guys, let me tell you a secret. Most people don't have any frequency. Some of you don't have that much frequency. You get around you and there's not a whole lot going on there. And the reason why is because a part of your nature could be out of balance. And I want you to think about these things really quick. Write these down real quick. Rest, retreat for a second, retreat, take a little second to step back. Hit the cold plunge pool. You know what I mean? Retreat when you're feeling like you're a little out of balance. Start to think, man. Start to think, hey, why do I feel out of balance? Which part of my nature is out of balance? My mind, my body, my spirit? Tell me. Have I not been in the gym lately? Have I not done a couple of these things? It's good to have you back on the call with me, man. You strategize. Guys, when you have a new strategy or you reach out to one of your coaches, you're like, hey, I got to be on whack, on fire. Did you get back on fire? Strategize. What is that? A lot of you guys know what to do to get yourself on fire, but you just don't do it enough. Or don't do it consistently, or you don't do it consistently. See, me, part of my nature is I've got to be at the cold plunge pool. It's just part of my new habit that I've adopted over the last 3 years. And if I don't do it for a day or two, I'm a complete weirdo. I'm like super weird. I don't even know how to talk. I'm like, you are not my brother. Go get in that cold water and you come back with a different attitude. My eye starts to go like this, and I just start to just be that negative Nancy everywhere. All right. But strategize, practice, play, and then perform. You're going to play at a higher level if you get some of these things right inside of your dominant nature. You're going to be ready to roll. Before we move on, those of you that like to hijack the word balance, see, Ian and I, we just mentioned how we get into balance, right? And we're committed to our balance because if we're out of balance, it's whack. But some of you on this call, you're going to hijack the word balance. I want you to write down, do not hijack the word balance. What that means is if you're at work, what Andy used to tell us, he's like, Evan, Ian, if you want to compete with me in the car business, what you're going to have to do is every hour that you're at work, you're going to have to be outworking me. It's not about the hours you're at work. It's about the hours that you work when you're there. Well, because a lot of people are at work in the car business or any other business for 10 to 12 hours, 13 hours, but it's like, but you're only really working 2. So then you're like, oh, I got to work less hours. No, dude, you just got to work more inside of those hours. And then the hours you're not at work, be thinking of this strategy so that way when you're at work, you can be fired up the whole time. You can be thinking the whole time. Some of you need to bring your damn food to work so that way you don't leave work all the time and then get out of whack and out of momentum and out of movement. Dude, your life has to happen in a rhythm. You guys get that, right? Your life has to happen in a rhythm. It's like a heartbeat. If it's not happening in a rhythm, well, then you're just not going to perform at the peak level that you want. And everybody wants to perform at a peak level, but most don't do it because they don't understand the strategy behind it. See, I love this conversation because this is how you figure out your holes in your game, which are what you want to do. You want to figure out the leaks and stuff that you're not doing when you hear high performers speak. And then you just want to go. And you take them. My high performers on this call, they're leaning in. They're like, what else do I got to do? I'm looking at Isaac Fisher. He's like, dude, okay, I got this. Okay, okay, now I got to come up with my rhythm. And you find the things that work for you. I'm not here to tell you exactly what works for you, Nicole Correo. I'm here to tell you to get creative. Evan can't read. To sit down and start to strategize. Shane Ramon. Just leave the last names. Just go with the first. But I want them to know that I'm talking to them. You could just say Shane, and then like if Shane Johnny Baldwin. See, that one's easy. Daniel Mathis. Just pick easy names. Evan. It's like pictures. But I'm looking at them and I want them to know. You should just stick to saying Cam Hanna. Okay. Like that's the easy one. All right. Like Renee. Like that's the easy one. Right, Renee. Like Ryan. Okay. Okay. But so. Can you take those when you see somebody and go apply them? That's what we said. Okay, real quick, let's slow down. Write down right now something that you just thought about that you can act on. Because this is where most people get confused. They won't take one of these things and go act. So I want you to say, I get out of balance when I'm around this person. I get out of balance when I do this. I get out of balance when I commit to going to the gym and then I don't go. I get out of balance when I commit to learning, but then I don't learn. I feel the most on fire when I'm around God or XYZ. And then I need to add a little bit more inside of that in my life. It sounds so simple, but you would be surprised how many people miss that and don't add more of what makes them on fire. Now, are you getting what you want out of this month? Let's get into just a little bit of tactical sales training. Tactical sales training. Let's go. Tactical pro tips. This is what we're going to call it. Listen, are you getting what you want out of this month? And if you're not getting out of this, I want you to understand there's 6 things that you can do to operate at your best and 6 things you can do to become a badass salesperson or better entrepreneur or to teach your team how to do these things. And my high performers are going to resonate hard with these things because we know that the more that we do these, the more that the sales start to attract to us. What Ian and I don't like to do a lot anymore is we don't like to chase business. We like to attract business. What happens when you start to chase something? It runs. It runs from you. But if you become this person that we're talking about, you become this Andy Elliott, all of a sudden, you've got business coming to you. You've got people hitting up your phone. You're knocking on a couple of doors. You're selling solar. And then all these other people are hearing about you. You're selling a car. Like Michelle's getting fired up. And then all of a sudden, your referral game is on fire because you are that dude. Yeah. But then also on the other end of that, a lot of you, you're newer in your careers and you're not going to understand it. Like, you might have to have, this is number one, the audacity. Number one is audacity. Write it down. Is you're going to have the audacity for the first 2, 3, 4 years to make 100 calls every day, hit 200 doors every day, to go reach out to people that you're scared of right now. There's a lot of people on this call that have been taking the audacity to become a new person. Like I've got Mike Audio on this call. He's been rowing on this rowing machine 20 miles every day. He's been actively changing his life. Well, he's taking the audacity for what it is to happen, but a lot of times your breakthrough is it's not just going to come right away. It's going to come after you've been tested for a long time. When you're in the storm, guys, I got news for you. Nobody loves to be in the storm. Like when you're in the storm and it sucks and you're like, I'm confused. Dude, you're getting ready for a breakthrough. But you go back and you tell the stories about the storm and they're some of the best times. But what you can't do is not smile in the storm, not be happy in the storm. And then the second part about that is remember what we talked about, how you start, you start with good intention. And then what happens? What happens? You fail to follow through and then you get guilty. Well, Mike's becoming this new person, but he can't go back to the old person. He's got to push through that next level and have the audacity to become that next person, or that audacity to hit that next level. You're going to have the audacity to hit the doorstep. You're going to have the audacity if there's nobody coming in the store to go stand in service for 3 hours. You're going to have the audacity to do things that you've never had to do. And if you can do those for a long period of time, well, then you become this magnetic character that just starts to attract business. Yep. You just start to attract things because you're doing things differently than everybody and you're seeing things most people can't see. Damn. Most people can't even see money and it's right in front of their face because they don't have this frequency. And so they're like, where's the sales? I'm like, dude, I see them everywhere. It's like I'm wearing a new different set of eyes than you are. I have a different set of glasses than you are because you're maybe missing one of these two things. So just be highly alert to what we're saying. Yeah, but that audacity is massive. Number one. Look, and when we're talking about audacity, you know that people are going to reject you. We're in the business of sales. So like just a rule of thumb, know that people are going to reject you and be okay with rejection. Yeah, it's like getting a girl. Like, Evan's girl turned him down multiple times. She's like, you're ugly. Hundreds. I'm like, he ain't that ugly. Look at me. Like, am I more handsome than him? I think I am. And she just kept turning him down. She kept, did he have to have the audacity, guys? Did I have the audacity to follow through and follow up? He didn't get discouraged. Like we said in number 2, he didn't get discouraged and follow through and then be guilty. And then go, oh man, I can't ever get one of these hot girls. Get better looking. No, you know what? Muscle on me. Most of these hot girls, like they want to see, Vanessa wants to see some follow through. Yeah. And she don't want to see you get discouraged because she turned you down. Turning you down just means that she's just saying, try another way. She said, my girl said, I never date a guy like you. And I said, you ain't never met a guy like me. You've never met. Now here, hold on, let me handle this objection real quick. Go and step on in there. And then I'm just telling you guys, this is sales 101. Some of y'all don't follow through. You don't hit the follow up. You're like, she turned me down. I'd show a better job. And she'd be like, what the heck? And then I'd show a better house. And I'd be standing in her backyard. See, some of y'all think that's crazy, but that's what I would do. And that's what I actually did. And it worked. And you might catch a case or two, but you don't get to where you're going to go. Okay. Regardless. That wasn't my tip. That was Ian's tip. But listen, for real, do you have the audacity? I can relate. He looks like he did that. He's like, yeah, some of y'all look like stalkers. Okay. Vanessa, watch these boys. They look like Vanessa does got a nice smile right there. I don't need any of y'all jumping in the DMs. No. Okay, listen. Most people look, hey, but real quick, you guys should go to Andy Elliott's YouTube. Type how would they find Vanessa's video when she stood up on stage? She got really nervous and then she almost cried and then she crushed this objection live and she had the audacity to come out there and perform. Maybe she's probably typing Vanessa on Andy Elliott did a bunch. So Andy Elliott, Vanessa, YouTube. Drop it in the comments. Maybe drop a link. Vanessa. Are you going to have the audacity to get up in front of people and show them how you do your job? Do you know your job well enough that you could get up on stage and teach it to 200 or 300 people? Most people, I'll tell you, 90% of salespeople don't even do the second follow-up call, the third follow-up call. Yep. And it gets dramatically low after the 4th follow-up call. And I guarantee you that a majority of you on this call don't have the audacity to make simple follow-up calls. Simple ones just like this. Yeah. Like this. Hey, Mr. Customer, what's going on? It's Evan. Hey, remember you were in the store a couple of weeks ago? Hey, I just wanted to call you, man. I just wanted to see how everything's going. Look, I'm not even trying to sell you nothing. I just wanted to talk to you for a second. I really enjoyed hanging out with you. How's the family? How's Vanessa doing? How's the kids? Cool, man. Hey, anyways, I just wanted to tell you we love you down here. Anyways, have a great day. Boom. Check this out. I'm gonna go follow up. I'm not even asking. Let's hit two little follow-up tips while we're on this, okay? Follow-up tip. Listen, I'm just gonna inspire you to think a little bit different and follow up. We have a girl named Selena here. If you saw the video on her Instagram, she bought a bunch of old school cell phones. She's selling B2B. And she's selling B2B. So she sent anything. And you could do you could do this with anything. Solar, and she just sends them one of these cell phones. Costs her $200 to get like 90 cell phones. And she sends him a cell phone. And it says, since you haven't called me back, I figured your phone's broken. Here's a phone. Yeah, you're ghosting me. You know what? They always call her back. That's creative. Evan and I used to send general managers one shoe. And the shoe used to just say, hey, we've already got one foot in the door. Help us get the second one. It wasn't one that Evan wore, so it didn't smell like shit. Like it was like a good brand new shoe. We call the secretary and say, hey, what size shoe does that guy wear? What kind of shoes does he wear? And you would get those things. But that's audacity to follow up. Listen, if somebody maybe leaves your lot and they're going back to work, could you send them sushi on Uber Eats? Could you go on to Uber Eats and spend $25?
Money to acquire a customer?
Okay, everybody go to my Facebook right now. Ian Macklin, IANMACKLIN, not Evan. Ian, the better twin. You'll see a story that I shared 11 years ago for my clients. I was giving them tickets, buying season tickets, and I had no money. I took a loan out from the bank to do something different than everybody else. I want you to read the post, but I want you to think about this.
Season tickets.
If you're good, season tickets, and I would just give them like different things. And I was always
what we did was we financed it on 4 payments. So what I would do is I would sell any of the tickets that were going to be like really good games, the Lakers, the Celtics. I would sell them, and then we'd have 1 or 2 tickets like to that we could actually give away.
Yeah,
and then one game that we
might be able was like $1,800 a month, or
so we're like,
just
trying to break even, dude. Just trying to figure it out.
But what I want you to do is just get your mind a little creative. Right now, you should be thinking, hey, what's a process that I can add for my customer experience? How can I make my customer experience just a little bit better? It doesn't have to be season tickets, but it can be just something small. But you have to have the audacity to take that step.
You guys, some of you guys might have seen, like, some of our sales guys are trying to track down some different business clients, some different dealerships. We've sent them pieces of pizza, and we call the pizza place, and we're like, hey, remove a slice. And write, hey, Andy Elliott's your missing slice. Call me back on this number.
And they always
your missing piece. Andy Elliott's the missing piece. And we send those. I spend hundreds of dollars on pizza a month, sending them all around the country.
You got to get creative.
And by the way, I'm having to sell the pizza place on doing it. We're not allowed to
negative pizza guys. So like, we don't touch the pizza.
Dude, y'all know you're touching the pizzas back there.
Don't act like you stuck your finger
pizzas
in the pizza.
And you licked a couple of Michelle's pepperonis because she was having a bad day and she called that pizza and said she wanted some damn.
We know you're licking the pepperonis before you're sticking them on there. Stop being a little loser. Okay, number two is we're becoming the best salespeople. The best salespeople in the world. The pros, my pros on here. What do we all have? We have the ability to get repetition, and we don't get sick of the mundane. We understand that, dude. If the next levels I want to go to, next levels are going to have next new devils, but it's all about your repetition for your skill. And here's your repetition. Some people are like thinking it's just in training. No. Nicole, it could be in the way you greet a client. It could just be like, hey, Nicole has the cold personality or something. Not saying this is you, Nicole, but you could just be like, your problem could be this, guys. It could be, and watch this. This is so simple, but this could change somebody's life. You're like, hi, welcome to Johnsonville Toyota. Are you here to see something?
Your hands, suck.
I know. I'm trying to make it suck. I'm not trying to make it good.
Oh, I'm like, dude,
that's how they do it. Versus like this, you're like, hey, welcome to Johnson City Toyota. My name's Ian. How can I be of service to you? What's your name?
My name's Evan.
Evan, nice to meet you, man. I'm so excited to cheer. You look good today, man. You working out?
Oh, yeah.
You probably have a twin brother. You ain't working out as hard as him, I guarantee. But you're kind of getting after it. Hey, nice to meet you, man. Thank you. Welcome to my house, man. How can we serve you today? See, some of you, maybe your greetings off. Some of you, you're doing Zoom calls and you're doing business to corporate or business to business, and your presentation is just soft, and you're not repetitiously practicing that. Evan, how many times did we practice our greeting at our dealership when we were greeting people?
Every single day.
It was almost the most important thing to me and Evan, because we just like, hey, what's up? Oh my God, hey, are you all look amazing? Compliment.
Are you here for the big sale?
Dude, they'd be like, what big sale? It'd be a Tuesday in January.
I can't believe you didn't hear about it, man. We have this big trading event going on. Let me ask you a question. You trading something in? And I'm going to get right to it.
Yeah.
And they forgot about the big sale. And then I'm like, dude, I can't wait to show it to you. But talk to me real quick. What do you like on your old car that you want to see on a new car? What do you not like on the old car that you don't want to see on the new car? Come on, tell me.
They're like, I just want to go out and take a look at a Corolla. You're like, dude, listen, man, somebody treats you bad today or something, because
give me a hug.
Like you're in a bad mood.
Give me a hug. Come on.
We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun looking at cars. Oh, you don't want to give me a hug? Hey, we don't play bad attitudes right here. See, some of y'all let your customers have bad attitudes because you got one. We don't allow that over here. I dare some of you guys to come down here and think you got a bad attitude.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I will love you down so hard, boy.
You
don't even know what would happen to you.
Dr. Junior, we'll kiss that forehead of yours.
Dr. Junior, you will get loved on, boy.
Josh is looking for it. He's like, pick me. Yeah. I want the kiss. I want the kiss.
Tim Renzoni loves the love.
So listen. How much effort can you put into it? Can you do so much effort?
Or are you just the salesperson that doesn't put any effort into it?
Can you do so much effort to where your presentation, the way you talk, looks effortless? How much effort can you put into it to make it look effortless?
One more thing, Evan. Write the word compliment down, guys. I don't want you to get used to saying bullshit compliments, but get used to saying good compliments. Like if somebody walks up on your lot or wherever you're at today, dude, you got to say something really nice that moves them, that makes sense to them. It's not like a compliment that they can't understand or is too big for them. It's like their kids are with them. They've got a car here. I'm like, oh man, your kids look so nice today. Did you dress them up like this? Holy
crap, that must be a hard job.
That's got to be like a full-time job for those 3 kids.
They're blessed to have.
And they're like, oh, you're nice. Yeah, they're already making a predetermined decision on if they're going to do business with me or not. And some people in this room, you lose that right away. And that's the problem.
See, Ian and I practice sizing people up. It's repetition. We size people up everywhere we go because I want to be able to meet somebody, and in a few seconds, I kind of know a little bit about them just based off the way they present themselves.
Yeah,
if they pulled up in a car, do they have a bumper sticker on it? If I'm knocking on a door, what can I see in their house that I can give them a slight compliment?
Yep.
If I walk up to their house, they have a really nice salon, and I'm trying to sell them something, do I compliment a couple of things that I see about their house? Like, do you think
if you're on phone sales, are you like, hey, and then they're like, hey, and then you just don't say anything? Or are you like this? Are you like, you got such a nice voice. You got me so fired up. I'm about to jump through the dang wall here. I should put a helmet on before you called me. Holy moly, girl, what are you doing today? I wish I had every customer that was excited.
They're like, oh, yeah.
Even if they're not that excited, I'm like, oh,
you know what happens when you tell somebody like a positive affirmation? They try to live up to it.
If they're a mad customer, I'm like, God, you guys are treating me so great.
Thank you so much.
I haven't had a lot of people treat me like this. You guys are amazing. You guys are
one of my best customers of the week.
You guys are so direct. You guys already know what you want. Like, you're doing my job for me. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, we're going to tell you exactly what we need. I'm like, yeah, you do that.
Yeah, you tell me.
Okay,
I can tell you're one of the people that don't like no bullshit. You don't like no car salesman BS.
Nope, I don't.
You want me to shoot you straight, or do you want me to like mess around like these other guys and like probably lie to you? Nope. No, you want me to shoot you straight, man. I can tell how serious you are about business.
Anybody ever sold anything to anybody in the military?
They're always serious.
Anybody?
Very serious.
Yeah. You know, anytime I get somebody in the military, I start off my conversation with like, hey, you don't like any BS. You know how I know? Because you're in the military, they don't play that.
Yeah,
and they're like, you right, boy.
Yeah, you right. You get right.
I'm like, yeah, we ain't playing none of that. I'm going to go tell my manager we ain't playing no games today.
We're going to go tell the manager if he messes with you, we're going to kick his neck
right off his head. And he's like, yeah, you tell him I want the best price. I'm like, we're going to get you the best price, the best rate, all the best stuff.
Okay.
Got you.
Sorry, guys. We get a little fired up because we just like to have fun on these calls, man. I hope you're picking up some tips because we really are dropping some heat. Go on ahead and put an emoji in the chat if you're getting some freaking value out of it.
If not, I'm doing this for me too. I'm a little selfish. I like to remind myself how to sell shit. And sometimes I'm like, damn, Ian, what did it take? And then I get on these calls with you guys. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what it took.
Okay.
So I need this for me too. As much as some of y'all need it for you.
Number 3. Man.
Thank you, guys. Thank you to my people in there.
Who's having fun on Twitter?
Write your better twin, your favorite twin in there too. Let's want to go ahead and
take a vote.
Go ahead and do that.
Take a vote.
And anybody that writes me, I'm got a coupon code to anything that you want online.
Oh, so now you're gonna buy.
Go Morgan. Come on, Joe. Get in there, dude. Get in there, Joe.
You're like one of those guys.
I know you like coupon codes, Joe. I know you like coupon codes, Joe.
Oh, dude, you're such. You know, salespeople always like discounts. They're like, we're gonna discount on this, but then you hate giving. See. I'm not going to get into it.
No, say it. I know exactly what you're going to say.
The people who ask for discounts, like, you know that the people that buy from you typically buy the way that you buy from other people.
Yeah, like if you're a dick always buying and you're just like a mean person when you go buy, you typically like
attract those customers.
So like
if you buy from people that are always worried about the price, because you're always worried about the price.
You just infuse that into the sale somehow.
Yeah, no, you subconsciously pass that shit over. Just so you know, like
I'm a lay down, so I just get a lot of lay down deals.
Yeah, dude, I'm like, yay,
hey, it's all good.
Whack me right over the back of the head.
I'm gonna pay all the money. Give me a good. Just make me feel good. Sell me solar panels. I'll buy fucking 18 of them.
I'll buy them for the neighbor.
You want to sell me some insurance? I'll buy insurance for the whole family. Okay,
I'm buying it for everybody.
Get with all the insurance.
Just make me feel good.
I don't want no damn insurance DMs. I've got every insurance. We have an insurance company. Okay, I already have every insurance policy.
You insurance agents are ruthless,
and I love that.
Your follow up guys, they follow up like. Our insurance agents follow up 3 times on every hour. So in about 6 hours, you're probably going to get 18 calls from them.
Yeah, but if you got Eric, you only going to get 1 because they don't give a shit, man. Just kidding, Eric.
Eric, don't you get all poopy on me, bud.
Relentless. He's kind of a big guy though, so
number 3.
There's 2 of us, Eric. Just know that.
Number 3, and the word is discipline, man. Straight discipline. Like
it's a word nobody wants to talk about.
Your biggest deals. My biggest deals didn't come from my first approach. My biggest deals came from my 3rd, my 4th, my 5th, my 6th, my 7th, my 8th approach, man. But most people won't have the discipline to follow up, the discipline to prove their dreams. And the word discipline is a derivative of the word disciple.
Yep.
Right?
Just means to decide.
Which means to buy in, right? Mm-hmm. Buy into what you believe in, right? And that's, you got to believe, man. So if you have discipline, are you 100% bought in, right? Like you got to freaking be bought in and you got to be willing to do what other people won't, even when you don't want to do it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 approaches. You knock on one door, you're coming back around and knocking again. Maybe, hey, by the way, I know we talked earlier today, but I just wanted to I'm just going to let you know, I'm leaving the area. 3 of your freaking neighbors got what we just offered you. Like, I want to offer it to you one more time because I told you, get out of here, boy. Another grade. Okay, no problem. I just wanted to let you know. Just wanted to make one more run by you because everybody in the neighborhood but you took advantage of this.
Hey, and
You're the only one.
Mr. Mrs. Customer, even if in 6 months,
maybe I messed up.
In 6 months, if you called us back and you wanted to get this, you're going to be very upset because you're not going to be able to get it even if you were a billionaire because
Can you use that
the grid's maxed up.
Can you use that in
You
insurance?
can use it anywhere.
Use it in B2B.
Could you take a picture on the car lot in our follow-up strategy and say, hey guys, I just want to thank you so much. Hey, what are you people doing over there looking at that car? There might not even be people there. I might be talking to myself. I'd say, hey, that's for Sally. Sally, I'm so happy that you came here. I'm protecting Sally. I'm protecting this car my entire life. Okay. Can you make your follow-up fun? Can you make your follow-up disciplined where you're actually going to follow up 900 times instead of 9?
You see, Ian and I we have a different perspective. A lot of people, they have a perspective like if they say they lost some money, say somebody hacked their bank account. Well, there's also somebody today that could be finding out they have terminal cancer, right? Let's get serious for a second. Somebody might be finding out they have terminal cancer and somebody else's family member might have died. Somebody, like, there's always something going on. So Ian and I have a perspective, no matter what's going on in our life, that we're blessed, we're positive, everything's just the way we need it to be, right? And a lot of people don't operate out of that perspective. You see, we know that there's always going to be things that are coming up. So we fall into these frameworks and we know if we're selling, we're in the right state. It's not a big deal. Everybody say no big deal.
No big deal. Now listen,
big deal.
Now listen, and if you can think that way, then you're always going to be vibing at this frequency. Everybody's so obsessed with the word branding. Well, if you go back to my Facebook post right there, I created one of the biggest brands in the country for automotive, and it was never about branding. It was about the reputation. It was about how people felt when they were around you. If you can consistently do these for a long period of time, the right people are going to come into your life. The right customers are going to come into your life. The right frequencies are going to come into your life. And guys, you know, is everybody going through something? Yeah. So when your customers get around you, are you actually truly memorable because you're following the first set of these frameworks and then you're following this second set?
Yep.
If you can do that and you're not like everybody else that's just doing it for a day or two and then you're going to get discouraged like in the first part of the framework and leave, then you're going to really truly be great for a long period of time. And we're going to be talking about these calls joking around like, 2 years from now, like we are with some of you right now, like Johnny, he was making $6,000, dude. Now, you're now sending me loans, like, come on.
Yeah. I want some Christmas presents.
60 grand, dude. That doesn't ever happen in your industry.
I want some big Christmas presents this year for those of you that
I want an ATV. I want an ATV, Johnny.
I want an ATV.
I want an RV.
I want an RV. I want to go camping.
An RV.
I love I want an RV, man. I want to be an RVer.
Hey, you better be careful what you say on here. Last time I said I wanted something, somebody shipped me a damn Escalade and I ended up having to buy it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't say those things in car worlds because now they're going to ship
Anybody
you
ever wanted?
They're going to say, hang on to it for a week, and then next thing you know, you're going to be sleeping outside.
Anybody ever just wanted to hit the road and just RV it and work from the RV, man? Damn.
Who wants an RV? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you want an RV. See?
All right, you see all the
leads right here? Everybody go back and screen record this. Grandpa wants one. He's got some good credit. Aldo, we'll get you a co-signer with Grandpa right up there. You know what I mean? He can.
That always pisses people off when they have good credit and tell them they have bad credit.
Okay.
Number four, stick to it, Ian.
Okay.
Your intuition, man. This is one of the skills that you really got to work on. But let's let Ian get after it. Number 4, your intuition.
Write this down. Your ability to qualify the product, your ability to qualify the customer before you pitch the product. Like, do you know who this customer is? Your ability to qualify the prospect before you pitch the product. Like, you should kind of know who this person is. You should kind of be able to get a vibe from them of like who they are, how successful they are, where you can line them up. Intuition is the missing element with salespeople. Intuition is like, some people have bad intuition and think these people have no money because they're not like, hey, when was the last time you financed a car? And they said a federal credit union, and you still think that they don't have credit or something. Like, your ability to qualify them as the presentation's going on and to know what this customer truly should be in and truly should get is absolutely a game changer.
I'm gonna give just a simple car tip. When I'm walking a trade and I'm talking to the client and I say, hey, listen, by the way, can I ask you a question? Do you use this car to commute back and forth from work? Like, do you?
Yeah.
See how I'm shaking my head? And they always say yes. If they say no, they ain't got a job. Like, we just kind of got to something, right? But most of the time they're gonna say, yeah, I use it to commute back and forth from work. And then I'm going to say, nice, what do you do for a living? And they're going to say, I'm a lawyer. And I'm like, oh, no way. My twin brother Ian always needs a lawyer, man. He's
How long you been doing that?
You've been doing that. Where'd you go to law school?
1 year and I just got out of law school.
Oh, could be on a budget. Now let me, did you hear what he just said?
Or I've been doing it for 19 years and I'm the #1 in the area.
Okay. Or what'd you say?
Or I've been doing it a year and I just got out of college. And now it's my first place that I'm at.
Okay. But what I did was I didn't just come out of the gate and say, what do you do for a living?
How long? Yeah.
I said, hey, can I ask you a question? Like, do you use this car to commute back and forth from work? And they're like, yeah. And I say, awesome. Hey, what do you do for a living, by the way?
Yeah.
And they're like, this is what I do. I'm starting to build the profile. My intuition's turning on. Things are turning on in my head and I'm learning. And I've practiced what to ask more than I practice what to say. I've practiced more what to ask than I've practiced what to say. That is the difference between big time salespeople, because big time salespeople get you talking about yourself.
Let's say Joseph Anderson, I don't know what he does, but I'm gonna say I got a couple fitness guys on here. They sell fitness programs. And you're qualifying your prospect, but you don't know that like your prospect should be in a very bigger There's a lot of people, like I've been offered a fitness program. They're like, oh, it's $299 a month. I'm like, that ain't going to change none of my problems. Like, I'm like, you qualified me as like a broke dude. I'm like, you need to tell, a lot of people want to know that it's actually going to change. So if I was qualifying somebody in fitness, I'd say, hey, listen, let me ask you a couple questions. What do you do for work? He says, I'm a XYZ. I go, I'm a chiropractor. I'm like, well, that's crazy, man. How long have you been doing that? I've been doing it for 15 years. Great. Is it your practice or is it somebody else's? Do you work for somebody? Yes, it's mine. Oh, that's crazy, man. That's great to know. Listen, how long have you lived in the area? What area do you live in? They can tell me, and just by the neighborhood that they can tell me that they live in, by the business that they're telling me that they're doing, I can qualify this guy and say, dude, you sound like a really high performance guy. You probably don't want something that's a starting level deal. You probably want something that's a high performance plan where you have the accountability, you have the community, you have the one-on-one coaching. You probably don't want to be in something that's as group. Am I right? Yeah. Okay, good. So if somebody could do that for you, that's probably the plan that you probably want to go to, is something a little bit more extreme instead of something that's a little bit more, junior.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Customer? What motivated you to want to come out to the car lot today?
What motivated you to reach out to this fitness company?
What motivated you to want to do X, Y, and Z today?
Let me tell you that.
Was it a commercial? Was there something?
No, my car keeps getting ready to break down, Evan.
So you keep having issues with the car.
I keep having issues with the car.
So I can better help you, and so we can get you a better value on that car. How long have you owned the car?
I've had the car for, the last 12 years.
Is that your typical trade cycle? Every 12 years you own a car?
I keep cars for a long time.
Wow, man.
What does that tell you about the customer?
Have you always been a Toyota customer?
I've always been a Toyota customer.
Toyotas are great.
What does that tell you about the customer?
They're not going nowhere. I'm at a Toyota dealership.
See, but that intuition and then qualifying them correctly. Hey, let me ask you this. What motivated you to reach out to the fitness company? What motivated you to reach out? What motivated you to click that link on insurance? Well, it's because I have 3 kids and a family member of mine died and didn't have life insurance. Wow, you're kidding me. See, when I say what motivated you to come into our car lot today, what motivated you when you ask that question, that allows the customer to tell me what is actually going on. Listen, guys, you can't change customers' beliefs unless you ask them questions and allow them to change their beliefs, allow them to unload what their beliefs are, so that way you can better assist them.
Yeah, right.
If I just answer questions all day, that's a rookie salesperson. A professional salesperson is asking the right questions, qualifying the person the correct way, and then that person is unloading all of the information that you actually need to close them on. And you're actually making a stronger connection. And a lot of that comes from that intuition. So think about that next time you're with a prospect.
I'm not saying, because Ian and I had these guys called the Damian brothers or whatever the hell their names were. They were the worst salespeople I've ever seen in my life.
Yep, hands down.
And they would stand at the front of the car lot. There was 2 of them, and they had like their phones, or I think they had radios back in the day or something.
It was
like
weird.
Beepers.
Yeah, they had like Nextels.
And one of that,
like 10 years ago, Nextels for my old people.
Yeah,
Grandpa, you remember those Nextels?
These guys,
like church.
These guys pissed us off. So they would stand at the front. One of them would stand at the front of the car lot, and they would qualify every customer. Hey, what kind of credit do you have? What are you looking for? Like, they would run through the fastest qualification. They were just looking for the freaking the lay down grade.
They were looking for the customer that was like, I'm on Car Gurus and I've already selected the car, and then that's when they wanted to help them. We're not saying overqualified.
I'm saying, can you work on the questions that you ask people, sizing them up, looking at them and saying, what is this person wearing? What do they look like? What bumper stickers are on their car? What's in their house? What are like, and can you figure out who they are and what their dominant buying motives are? So then you can actually give them a solution that will work.
Everybody say awareness.
Awareness.
You have to have awareness and intuition. If you don't have awareness and you're just so nervous to get around the customer, and when the customer shakes your hand or something, you're lost in the sauce, you're going to lose. What you have to do is slow down and say, okay, what does this customer really want? Why are they really here? What kind of car are they driving? What kind of stuff do they have going on? You know, what would have motivated this customer to actually come in today? Oh, they saw an ad. What does that ad say? Why would that have motivated this person? Because it was a low payment? So could budget be an actual true concern to this customer? What's a good question to ask somebody that has a budget question? Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, what do you do? What are you going to use the car for? Are you going to use it to commute to work? They say yes. I can then say, what do you do for work? Then they tell me, and it's kind of a lower level job. Then I know that I'm not qualifying this guy into a $900 car payment, a $1,000 car payment. I'm going to have to qualify him into something that makes more sense to the customer.
He's a first-time buyer. Like you have to figure out a way to not just go for the home runs on every single deal, because a lot of you guys, you lose deals because you're going for the home run on every deal. You're going for the high commission. You're going for the big deal. And then all of a sudden you just gave away a lot of volume, which can replace a couple of big commissions. And a lot of us, we don't need more money. We just need more people. So if you started to grow your network, you were delivering at a high level, you're actually getting
that down. We don't need more money, we need more people.
If you're actually giving people stuff that they could afford, and then you were doing great follow-up, you would build a business. And that's what the goal is. Okay. So number five, this is one of the most critical things that I see with salespeople all the time, and entrepreneurs that sometimes either have it and lost it or don't have it and are looking to gain it. It's going to be your confidence.
Yep. And listen, do you want to do business with somebody that's low confidence, that doesn't believe in themselves? Okay, so if you're a newer salesperson, because usually after a couple of years, you've really got this down, but a lot of you, you're going to have to decide, what's my confidence level? Have you lost it? Have you given it up for some certain reason and you forgot who you are? Or are you radiating confidence? Do you have a contagious confidence? Write down contagious confidence. When I get around customers, it's not an arrogance, but it's a, hey, I got your back, dude. Hey, no worries. I got that question done. I'm writing that down. Hey, no worries, man. I got you. Everything that you need, I've already got that. You guys want water too? You want this? Well, I'm radiating confidence in my movement, in the way that I talk, in my rate of speech.
Ian, you'd be surprised how many people just don't know the basic FAQs, the basic questions that a customer could ask. The basic questions about finance, the basic questions about the product, the basic questions about the industry, and you don't know them. So you can't even portray the confidence because you don't really know your business better than anybody else. See, Andy's one of the top things he always tells us is you better know your business better than everybody else. You better learn and find a way to kick your own ass, which is trying to find the holes in your game. So if you don't know the basic questions, how could you be confident?
Yep. So what are those basic 5 questions that you need to be asking in your business? Write them down. Hey, these 5 questions come up every time. I need to be the best at these.
And I need to handle them 5 different ways.
And I need to be able to maneuver 5 different ways. And I need to be able to maneuver with fun. What's 5 different jokes that you can have? Evan and I got the same 5 jokes. Like when we're on a car lot, it's the same 5 jokes.
Laughs at him every single time on every Twin Tuesday.
And I think he does that for us.
Yeah,
I think he does that for us. I think he's not doing it for him.
I heard that one.
He's like, I heard that one 900 times. You know? Okay. But like, you have the confidence to be able to have fun with these people. Guys, want to ask you who you like to do business with. Do you like to do business with somebody that's confident and sure of themselves? I do. Do you like to do business with somebody that's having fun and that's confident and sure of themselves? That's even more enjoyable to me. Somebody that's having fun, they're confident. You object to something, they're all like, oh, I got to just tell you the objection. They're like, hey, walk me through that. Okay, now that I understand, let me present a new way of thinking for you so that way you can just stew on a couple of things. I've heard you say this. I've heard you say this. I've heard you say this. Now, that would lead me to believe that this would probably work better for you. Wouldn't that make sense with everything that you said to me? That sounds pretty damn confident, you know, because I'm guiding them. I'm leading them. I'm not letting them lead me. I'm letting them lead themselves with the questions that they've already asked me. I'm not, with the questions I've already asked them too.
Ian, can I ask you a question? Why is everybody so drawn to, which by the way, Ian and I are from Colorado. I dropped out of CU. So I'm a CU fan, even though I didn't make it through that thing.
Yeah, you made it how many days?
Like a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like the football players that Coach Prime was coaching, and he's like, you ain't got it. Get out of here.
Can I ask you a question? Why is everybody so drawn to CU football right now?
Raise your hand if you know what's happening at CU football. Raise your hand so we can set some context.
Right now, it's the hottest story in sports. Everybody's drawn to this. Everybody, like Celebrities are showing up. The Rock's going to their games. Lil Wayne's going to their games. It's a college town in Boulder, Colorado. It's a little hippie town.
And we haven't won anything in 20 years. Like, we haven't had a good season. Mine and Evan's. We were the only one that wore CU gear. Me and Evan.
The reason why everybody's so drawn to Colorado football right now is because of Coach Prime's confidence in building his team. He's got the frequency. He's got everybody believing in a way.
As a leader,
Coach Prime is selling all of us every day on social media. He's selling his players to believe more. He's selling his coaching staff. You as a leader,
selling his future. He's selling his future.
Bro, he has the biggest sale going on right now
in the history of time. Right now.
And he's done it. And he's done it for the last couple of years since he was at Jackson State football. He's selling everybody to be along with him on the mission.
You know why?
Because he's sold. Because he's bought in. Moved people that are moved about their mission, move other people.
Yep. And people used to always say, Ian and Evan, how are you guys so sold on this car business? We just were, man. I don't know why, but when we got around it, we saw that I could make $5,000. Where I come from, $5,000 is a lot. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. So if I could get really good at this, I could probably change my family's life. I was so sold on who I could become, not who I was, but who I could become, that when people got around it, they could actually feel that too. Listen, that's going to take that confidence. It's going to take number 6. You know what Dion has more than anybody? He's got a character. He stands for his values above everything else. You guys see how that coach online said something about him? He's like, your mama hasn't raised you right. You guys, anybody see that? Anybody see that? They said, Dion, your mama hasn't raised you right. You don't take your sunglasses off when you're talking to adults. Dion said, man, I'm not going to badmouth that coach. Any brother that has a team, he's like, I'm sure that guy's done amazing things his whole life, and I don't know him that well to even talk anything about it.
Everybody,
he didn't go to their character level. So you know what he did? He bought everybody glasses, and then you know what happened to those glasses? They sold $1.2 million in 6 hours. They ain't sold $1.2 million ever.
And he brought his mom to do the pregame.
And then you know
how she raised him.
And then what'd she say, Evan? What'd she say? She's like, I raised him right. And I told him that he better kick some ass.
Yep.
And it was really cool.
And to always be himself. You know,
anybody see my post on Coach Prime? It like got 16,000 likes and like 9,000 shares or something.
It went viral.
Dude, it's all leadership. Are we all leaders?
Yes.
Yeah, man. But you've got to have that belief in yourself. You've got to have that confidence in yourself. You have to have that intuition on the sales line. You have to have that repetition. You have to have that audacity. Does Dion have audacity?
Yes.
Yeah, he has a lot of audacity.
Does he call his shots?
Does he call his shots? Yeah. Is he alive? Yeah, man. Is he making everybody around him have fun? Yeah. No matter if they do or they don't want to. And a lot of the leaders on this call, dude, you need to adopt a lot of that. I know I am. For my team. I'm like, hey, we're going to believe harder than anybody. We thought our belief was good. Now we need to believe even harder. You as a salesperson, your belief needs to be through the damn roof.
Well, and by the way, like when you do have that character and you have built these, you start to find different business partners. You start to find different people that believe like you believe. And with Ian and I, when we partnered with the Elliott Group, we were so bought in on our personal development for about 3 years. We were spending all the money we could, investing in ourselves, investing in our team. We were just trying to figure out ways to keep this always going. And then all of a sudden, one day we got the handshake that changed our life. But it was 3 years into a mission that most people thought was stupid.
They would have quit. They would have got discouraged.
Most people would have got discouraged. But we had the resilience. We were practicing our rest when we weren't at the dealership, and we were actually coming back in with the fire to sell. We were actually doing what we tell other people to do. We were actually outworking people, not just some cute saying. When we were there, we were working. We were seeking mentors. We were finding out a way to continue to be resilient, even through the hard stuff. I've told you guys this story a million times, a couple of you guys. The day Ian and I had somebody that was incredibly special in our life, it was our grandfather. When he passed away, we thought we would have broke mentally everything. He's the most important person in our freaking lives. And that day we had our biggest, like we still went to work. My mom's like, you know, we said, hey, we don't want to go work. She's like, you got it. She's like, go get it done. That's what he would want.
What's your character?
And
you got to go. You got to show
those
up.
are your test days, right? Like those are the days that you get tested and you got to respond, right? Those are the days that are going to become your testimony. Yep. You get to run around and tell everybody about, like I'm telling you now. We had our biggest day ever, and it showed our team another level. It showed them a new dog. It showed them a new leader. It showed them that we weren't going to break on anything. And it proved to ourselves that there was a bar that we've never gone back down from. How many of us are going to have those tests coming up and we can pass it or we can flunk it, and then we repeat that cycle that we talked about with Bill and the stuff that we just know if we do the hard shit pays.
Yeah, a lot of you right now need to sacrifice your temporary pleasures for your long-term gain.
your temporary pleasures for your long-term gain.
That's the truth.
But see, this is the hardest part. 99% of people can't do that.
Right.
Because it's so much easier to go to the bar and drink. It's so much easier to take the day off. It's so much easier to not make the calls. It's so much easier not to do the Facebook post. It's so much easier to not invest the money. It's so much easier not to come down to a conference. It's so much easier to do all of these things that you don't truly want to do, but your heart tells you to do it. Listen to it. And then whatever that is for you, you're going to have to make the choice. I knew that I was going to be, that I was going to make the sacrifices to really become who I wanted to be. In that Facebook post that you saw 11 years ago, I was making the sacrifices because I figured that I was on to something. If you know you're on to something, stick with it, man. And I want to tell you guys, right now, I want you to audit the things that you're doing right now. I want you to audit your character. I want you to audit your confidence. I want you to audit your intuition, your discipline, your repetition, your audacity. Or there's some things that right now you're like, you know what, Ian, I can do a little better job in there. Evan, I can do a little bit better job in there. I can tweak that a little bit. And this is the cool thing. If you're able to do that over the next 1 and 2 months and 3 months and 4 months, you're going to be like a lot of the guys that we've seen on here that have grown tremendously, that have huge transformations, that continue to keep growing. And guys, I never could connect the dots looking forward to where I would be. Nobody can. You can't connect the dots looking forward.
You just connect them looking backward.
But backwards, you're going to say, I went to that conference. I did that training. I stayed in the zone when everybody was making fun of me. I proved this person wrong. I stuck to myself. I did this. I did that. I partnered with this person. I found this deal. And you're going to look back and be proud of a lot of those things. Or you're going to look back and be very disappointed. And so how you change those things is you start to act on them today. You start to believe that you're 100,000% worth it, that you are exactly who you say you are, and sell yourself on your new dream, sell yourself on your new life, sell yourself on the new story. Some of you guys need to close the damn chapter, get rid of the book, and write a new book.
Yep.
Some of you right now, you've written a couple of cool chapters. Now you need to write an even bigger and better chapter. And you need to start going to that next level and unlocking that next level of your belief, because you were meant to play a big game. So play a damn big game and stop playing half the game.
Yep.
Start really, truly playing it. What else we got, Evan?
Hey, those of you guys who know, we've got a couple of events coming up. So I'm going to be really quick on this. We have 4 tickets left to the the Ultimate Closer Summit on October 7th.
That's with Bradley.
The VIP is sold out. September, the seminar is sold out. November, the Master Closer Seminar is sold out. We have December, OmegaCon is available. We're selling out our events 3 months in advance now, 2 to 3 months in advance. So if you're not getting a ticket and you want to come down to end of the year, we're doing OmegaCon. It's really one of the only ones available, or there's 2 or 3 tickets left to the Ultimate Closer Summit in October.
Yep.
You should be a part of this to end your year.
Now, let me tell you something down here. One of the things that kept me on fire, guys, and it kept so many people like James Schubert on fire, and listen to this, because this is so important to your rest, renewal, and your resilience. It's not around being around the same people. I don't care how good they are. You got to be around a new energy. You got to be around a new focus. You got to be around a new confidence. You got to be around a new environment. The way that you get new experiences matter more than any money that you could ever make. Because the experiences at the end of your life are going to shape who you actually are. Money won't shape who you are. Experiences will.
Yep.
So what we have coming up is, and I'm going to tell you this, me and Evan used to have a lot of runways. We'd say, hey, Andy, we're going to see you in 3 months. So we would commit to 3 months. And then you know what we would do? We would work hard, and it would be like, oh, when I get that, I'm going to spend an extra 2 days out in Arizona, and I'm going to relax, and I'm going to renew, and then I'm going to see Andy. So, set up a runway where you can have you have 2 months, 3 months to figure out, get in better shape to do some different things so we can make a bigger commitment, and then we can see you guys.
Yep.
In the December thing, we have special things that anybody that books tickets are going to be able to do with us and Andy.
We'll say the availability.
And then in January, we got a special event next to the seminar too.
We've added something to the Master Closer Seminar. Andy, for certain ticket levels, does a whole social media training the day before the seminar.
That's on Fridays now.
That's on a Friday now. So
you'll spend, and that's only with 50 people. So you'll spend private time with him.
Andy's going to literally show you his process of building his social media, which is probably the most fire social media.
Well, we reached 158 million people last month, which was the most out of any influencer in the world. So out of anybody.
If you're looking to spend that time and energy and you're willing to invest the capital, text us on the 480-780-2203 number. Just say event info, and one of us will reach out with the different ones that are available. There's only a few left for everything. January, our event's going to start off January 20th and 21st to start the year off.
That would be an incredible one to be a part of.
Yeah, and if any of you guys have questions or like deeper things that you want to go through, you can text also, just be ready to take action. Because some people, I'm like, hey, you cross that line and text me, I'm going to ask you to take action and change some of the things that are within you. But if you're dying for that and you're looking for that accountability, then go ahead and text me. And I want to say I'm super proud of a lot of people on this call. I know that, well, number one, I'm proud of all of you for being on this call, but I see so many people breaking through barriers that they never thought that they could break through. I see so many people that have stuck with us for so long that we're going to the top together. I can't wait till, this thing is a year or 2 years down the line. I was doing really special things for my clients on this thing. I'm going to be doing some really special things for a lot of you because you've been with us since the beginning. And so I can't wait to make a deeper brotherhood with you, sisterhood with some of you. And so in order to do that, we got to do one thing. We got to take maintenance in our relationship. We got to see you. You got to communicate with us. We got to communicate with you, but some of you, we don't know a whole lot yet about you. So help us communicate with you.
And if you don't have a coach, text us, I don't have a coach, and we'll reach out and we'll coach you.
Exactly, guys. And hey, last thing, remember today, all the things that we wrote down. Maybe keep a little sticky note in front of you that says that Audacity, that says that one word that really you needed today, and use that word all day long.
Hey, tag us on social media and bring a friend into the next Twin Tuesday. Send them the damn link. We don't care. Come on, send some people.
Take a picture. Take a picture.
Everybody smile because you're going to be on this.
Don't talk because you'll look ugly. Don't talk. You'll look ugly. There you go. Who didn't take a picture? I'm going to kick your ass if you didn't take a picture.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for coming today.
Let's go in. Thank you.
Let's go kick some butt. Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Let's go.
You guys got this.